Hello there and welcome back to the channel. This is Mel's Gaming here with another The Hunter Call of the Wild video. Now this video is going to be something a little bit different. We're just going to be talking in this video, not really looking for trophies or anything specific. I'm just going to be grinding some fallow deer in the background whilst I answer a question that has been cropping up a lot recently. And that question is, how do respawns work? What do you have to do to get respawns? How do they work? What's going on with respawns? Now, I've got to say, the first thing, there is a lot of unknown stuff about respawns. The only people who know for sure how the respawn system works in the Hunter Call of the Wild are the devs themselves. No one who is not a dev knows exactly how the respawns work. There are a few things that we're pretty sure of and, pretty confident of, but without the devs explicitly saying this is how this works, I'm not saying anything for certain. Now, I'll start off by saying the things that we're pretty confident on as a community. Most people will agree that with the animals, this one is a pretty, I would say everyone agrees with this one. If you shoot an animal that's, say, a fallow deer, you will get a fallow deer respawn. That one I'd say is a pretty basic, that one should be, everyone agrees with that one as far as I can't see that you'd get another animal respawning from a different species. So the animal that you kill will respawn as that same species. Now, the second one already we get into some debate. Some people will disagree with this, but there's a lot of people, myself included, who believe that male animals will respawn as males and female animals will respawn as females. So if I shoot this fallow buck here, I would expect another fallow buck to take his place. Now, what kind of fallow buck takes his place is completely random. We know this. We know that whatever I shoot, whether it's this level 3 or a level 4, is going to respawn as a random level and a random fur type with a random trophy score. It's not going to be the exact same animal. Now, that basically means that if I shot like an albino fallow here, it's not going to respawn as another albino unless I get some kind of extreme luck. And if I shoot a level 3, it might respawn as another level 3, but it could be bigger, it could be smaller, it might not be the same fur type, it could be a different common fur type, or it could be a rare. That kind of variable is what comes into effect there. And we know that that's a thing because that's how we get rare animal respawns. For example, with the fallow deer, I am grinding for a melanistic. In this grind so far, I have had an albino fallow buck and a piebald fallow buck. And I have only been shooting the bucks, I've not been shooting the does, and the rares that I've had coming back are bucks, which again kind of goes with the whole males respawning as males, females respawning as females thing. Now, this again is a hotly debated topic, this next one we're going to cover in terms of how do respawns work. So, there is always a big question about how do you get your respawns? What is it you need to do in order to make the animals that you've killed respawn? Now, there are so many conflicting different things that I have seen said about this, and it's really, really interesting because I've always done the method of reset the time, open, close the map, and then go back in, and I normally have respawned animals in those areas where I've shot things. However, I have done it before with Whitetail on Rancho, where I have opened and closed the map, and there's been no respawns there. I've opened and closed it again, no respawns. Open, closed it again, no respawns. Open and closed the map again, and then I've had a full herd of deer in that spot. So that's a really interesting one, because when you compare that to the clip of the feral goats that I posted the other day with the 2 level 5s, I shot a level 5, that was the only goat I shot, I opened and closed the map, and when I came back there was another level 5 there. And I'm pretty sure that was a level 5 respawning as another level 5, both were trolls, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Maybe there is some chance that that level 5 was just another one that was in the group and it was somewhere hidden, it hadn't gotten to its zone yet. There's a few factors that there's a chance that it wasn't a respawn, but I would say that it was. It just, from me, I'm pretty confident that's all the goats that were there, and I'm pretty confident that that was a respawn. But exactly how many times you're supposed to reset the time, how you open and close your game, or whether you go to a different map, all of this gets highly debated all the time by all kinds of different people who play this game. Some people say you need to reset the time 6 times, and then open and close the map, go to a different map, and then come back, and then you should have your respawns. And I've done that for quite a while, and it seems to work. But sometimes I don't only reset the time once, and then I open, close the map, come back, and it seems to have the same effect. So when it comes to respawns, do whatever you find is working for you. If you find that you are pretty efficient with changing the time, you've got enough money to not be worried about that, and you feel like that's getting your respawns, change the time as many times as you want, and do whatever works for you. Because as I've said, and this is basically what this entire video is about, no one knows for sure how the respawns work except the devs. And that's just a very clear fact. No one knows exactly for sure. I've heard people telling me that they know exactly how the respawns work because they've used a piece of software to tell them how the respawns work, and I always go, just no. You shouldn't be interfering with the game using that kind of thing in the first place, and I don't believe anything that doesn't come from the devs who actually work on the game and say this is how the respawn system works. And I'm glad that we don't know exactly, because it would take the fun out of the game. If we knew we had to kill a certain amount of that specific animal, or, you know, that specific size of animal, or however the respawn system works, it would kind of take the fun out of the randomness of the game. And another thing that also gets debated, again, going back to a little bit of the do males respawn as females and do females respawn as males, or do they respawn as the same thing debate. When, in my opinion, this is what I think happens. When you kill a group of animals, say I'm killing all these fallow deer here, in my head, those respawns all get mixed up in a pot. And it's all of those different spawns, so like say 10 fallow deer from this location, and then like 5 fallow deer from another location on the river, and they all get mixed up and then they get thrown back into those spots. But whether it's the same respawn that gets thrown back into that spot if you've killed a lot of the same animal, I think it's just random. So if I kill 10 fallow deer here and 10 fallow in another location, we could have 5 that respawn in this location that were shot here, and 5 that respawn in the other location that were shot here and not over there, if that makes sense. It's really hard to explain, but that's how I feel it works, and I feel like that's why sometimes if you have a zone that's only females and you shoot males in another part of the map and then you shoot some of those females, I feel like that's why you get some of those males then turning up where those females were. And that kind of helps, I think, with these zones and keeping things balanced, and I just think that's how it works. Again, I think that's how it works. I don't know for sure. No, I don't claim that anything I say in this video is 100% correct. I'm just saying this is what gets talked about. So I just wanted to make this video and just talk about those couple of things, because it is a little bit complex, and how do respawns work is it's a very interesting question, because there's a lot that goes into that, because unless you're asking a dev, no one can answer you 100% for sure. But we know you kill loads of animals like red deer and you have a chance of a great one popping up, or you kill loads of fallow deer and you have the chance of a diamond or a rare popping up if you kill all the males and stuff. So that pretty much covers that, I think. I hope that is somewhat understandable, and I hope that makes sense. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope this has been somewhat helpful in answering that question, even though I'm basically just saying no one really knows how respawns work. But basically, go out there, shoot as many animals of whatever you want. If you want a rare fallow deer, go and kill as many fallow deer as you possibly can. If you want a male respawn, I would advise killing all the males that you can, but who really knows? I'd just say that that is basically what we think happens. If you kill males, you get male respawns. But how it works in terms of resetting your time, opening your map, that is all so up for debate. I have seen so many different sides of that argument. Like I said, I've seen it acting differently for me You know, sometimes I reset the time once and open and close the map, boom, I have respawns. But like that time on Rancho, I reset the time all those times and then open and close the map several times before I saw those respawns actually there. And when I did finally see those respawns actually there, it was very obvious that they were brand new respawns because there was a max weight diamond amongst that group. So it's just really interesting. I think maybe it's some amount of randomness. We just don't know. But that is basically going to be it for this video, guys. I hope it has been in some way useful talking about this as a subject, and I'm sorry if it's not exactly the answer that any of you were looking for on exactly how the respawns work, but I'd rather be honest and say that I don't know, and as far, as I'm concerned, no one really knows except the devs. So hopefully that is, helpful in terms of, I think we're all in the same boat, testing things out. And like I said, go out and test things out, see exactly what works for you in terms of how many times you need to reset the time, or how many times you need to open and close your map, or restart the game. Do what works for you once you've tested it out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you.